Yo, how's everyone doing? Welcome back for some more Forza Horizon 3. Today I just want to talk with you about the Lykan Hypersport, and I actually reviewed this car quite a while ago, many months ago, when we first were able to win it for free through a Forzathon event, and once again this weekend we're going to be able to do that. But one big thing I missed when I originally reviewed this car is that they had this thing listed as a hypercar near the bottom of the S2 class, and if you remember my review about the Noble M600, this car is listed as a hypercar, but in real life it is actually a supercar, and it turns out the Lykan Hypersport has the exact same situation going on, and it's really weird because these cars are actually very similar, rear-wheel drive, about 920 in the S2 class, and they both make a lot of power, are pretty light, and also have really good front weight percentages. So what does that mean? Well, it actually has really good grip for a rear-wheel drive car that makes a ton of horsepower, but the thing is, it is not a hypercar, it's a supercar. So basically what I'm trying to say is this thing simply does not compete in the S2 class with hypercars. It doesn't compete at all, no matter how you tune it, no matter how you build it. I even made an all-wheel drive tune, which this one right here that you're watching is actually a rear-wheel drive build, but I still couldn't compete with the one hypercar that was in this race, which I made the race 2010's collection because I knew that I wouldn't be able to beat all hypercars, and still I was not able to get first place. And this isn't even on unbeatable difficulty. I think this was the third hardest difficulty, and the problem is when this thing is rear-wheel drive, you literally just cannot get enough grip out of this thing to compete with the all-wheel drive cars, which there are plenty of all-wheel drive S2 hypercars, and there's also rear-wheel drive cars that have better grip than this thing. But the other problem is if you make it all-wheel drive, then it just doesn't handle good enough, it doesn't turn good enough, and still, it's a little bit slippery. It doesn't even grip all that well, and the grippier you make it, the worse the handling is and the turning. So overall, this thing just really isn't good in the S2 class, especially against hypercars. So this thing is really not a good race car. I think it's a beautiful car. I love the sounds of it, and I love the way that it looks, and it has pretty good grip for what it is. I mean, it makes a ton of power, and the only thing saving it at all is the weight distribution, because the rear has about 60% of the weight, a little bit less than that, but it has enough to maintain the grip. But you still have to let off the gas a little bit too much, and it causes you to slow down way too much against some of these other cars that you'd be racing against. And also, if you go full throttle too much, you just fishtail and you'll spin out and you'll lose control, and either way it just does not work. So it's really sad to see, because this is a really cool car and it does perform pretty well, but it doesn't compete with the cars that you're going to be put up against, especially hypercars, and you can't even max this car out in the S2 class. So overall it's sad to see, because I really like this thing and it would be a pretty cool race car, but Forza just didn't list it properly, and I'm not sure if they think it would just be too good for the supercars, which I guess kind of is a possibility, and this thing would be pretty good in the S1 class, but it's just way too weak for the S2 class. So I'm not really sure what to say about it. I'd love to hear everyone else's opinions, but I do love this car. I think it looks absolutely beautiful, and it sounds good, and it is pretty fun to drive. I mean, the grip's pretty good and it performs well, but it's just completely outclassed for where they have it set up in the game. But as always, thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to y'all again very soon. Peace out.